Today we have with us Dr. Abhay Sinha, Director General of Services Export Promotion Council of India. Sir has an experience of more than 25 years in international business, policy and strategy, market research and trade information center. Sir, my first question to you is, what is the future of exports of services in India?
Thank you for this brief introduction. Services export has a very bright future. I was going through some data over last decade or so. Over 60% increase in service exports has happened, and more importantly, it contributes to about 55% of the total economic size what we have. In terms of exports, we are, I believe, having a share of around 4.8 or 4.9% in the global services exports, services trade. India is having quite a large share in professional services. A lot of sectors are emerging and very bright future. In fact, the ministry has given a target of achieving 1 trillion services exports by 2030.
Yes, sir. Thank you for answering this, sir. Sir, what is the role of SEPC in promoting export of services?
Let me tell you some detail about other export promotion councils.
Yes.
Relatively, this is a very new council, a young council established in 2006 under Ministry of Commerce, Government of India. You would have known the name of EPC or various other product-specific council.
Yes.
For services, this is the only council. And like all the councils, the core job can be classified into 4 areas. One is trade intelligence. Say, for example, anyone looking for any market anywhere in the world, the very first thing one look forward to is to get access to the information. And not only information, right kind of information which will add value to the business aspiration. So trade intelligence becomes a very important aspect for service exports, where the exports not only happens, it happens in 4 ways, unlike merchandise export.
Yes. You
have a digital export, you have export when somebody comes and consumes the services, like tourists coming to India, students, overseas students coming to India, that is also export.
Yes.
For healthcare, somebody comes, that is an export. So mode 1 is digital. Mode 2 is your inbound services you offer to the inbound people coming to India. Third one is setting up a kind of entity in a foreign land, like say for example Symbiosis setting up its campuses overseas. That's just one example. And the last one is temporary transfer, that is mode 4. So this makes where, in the mode 4, let me just briefly touch upon this also. In mode 4, nurses, for example, going out, delivering the services, coming back to India. Teachers going out, delivering the services, coming back to India. Likewise, consultants, engineering, a lot of construction works are happening. And India is providing a lot of consultancy in engineering field.
Yes.
So those all form part of mode 4. So, going there, giving the services, coming back, that's mode 4. Combination, it can be a combination of all the first and the second one also.
Yes.
But this makes everything very complicated. And that's where the role is of trade information, export development, because in all these areas you require. So second one is export development, where training, skilling. Services is more, unlike manufacturing here, an individual can also export. A doctor rendering the services. Skilling is very much essential to the services. And the third one is export promotion, organizing exhibitions, participating in international exhibitions, organizing reverse buyer-seller meet, delegation. And the last one, which is very important, is how the exports can be enhanced through policy intervention. So that's the fourth important role. So trade intelligence, export development, export promotion, and policy intervention across the border within the country. So Services Export Promotion Council provides value-added services in all these areas to the industry.
Yes, sir. And sir, what are the challenges in services export?
Challenges, many. First is unlike manufacturing, you don't have a data. Whatever data we come across is by RBI, which actually defines services in terms of the forex earning. So there is a purpose code. In manufacturing, you have HS code. Globally, HS code is harmonized. In services, it is an evolving process. India, and not only India, most of the countries are actually defining the way services sector could be accounted in terms of export and import. So data issue is there, and many of the services sector are still highly unorganized. For example, travel and tourism sector, very unorganized. So that is also posing a challenge when we are negotiating FTAs. There in merchandise, in manufacturing exports, you can actually set a target based on the bilateral trade data. And you can negotiate actually. In services, all the four modes makes it very complicated. And that also differs from various kinds of services. So there the challenge lies in coming to issues which might be there, but may not be documented in the way it is required for any foreign trade or free trade agreement negotiation going on. This makes it very challenging. And as I said, the canvas is very huge. I must also mention, coming back to your very first question, on the target 1 trillion, there is a goal of 2 trillion by 2030. And for manufacturing sector, it is 1 trillion. For services also. Right now, whatever trade balance is there, or trade deficit, trade surplus, services sector is actually offsetting the trade deficit, what we are having in the manufacturing exports. So that way, future is quite bright. Right now, we are standing at around 341 billion. And around, total combining with the manufacturing, it is close to 800 billion US dollar. Services sector might be overtaking the exports, overall exports, might be overtaking manufacturing exports, but we need to address the challenges, what I've just mentioned, and make it more organized. Right now there is no system to measure the competitiveness of service export when we talk about a state competitiveness index. States have to play a very important role.
Yes.
Tourism, for example, is not only the central subject, but it is a federal subject, as every state is promoting. But Incredible India, for example, is a campaign. So those kind of challenges we are facing to unify the campaign, make it India-centric. Of course, every stakeholder being equal participants in that. Data on each state, because each state is having different kind of strength. So all those mapping needs to be done, and a very cohesive framework of policies and initiatives should be taken into account to overcome those challenges.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving us such a beautiful insight on export services. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Pleasure being here. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.